Project Bluebeam. Have you ever heard about it?
Yes, I have.
Have you really, though?
Yes, I have.
Why don't you like this? This is about conspiracies, and you love conspiracies.
I like Project Blue Book better than Blue Beam.
People aren't familiar with Project Bluebeam. Serge Manast, I guess that's how you say his name. He was a Canadian investigative journalist. A lot of people say it's crazy. Who's out there? He wears that tinfoil hat and he went crazy over time. And there's a conspiracy behind his death, a lot of people believe. A lot of things associated with Project Bluebeam doesn't make sense, but it's kind of adding up.
Yeah, some of the stuff is coming true. I mean, United Nations, NASA wants to create a new world order.
Yeah, in a nutshell, Project Bluebeam, in conjunction with like the United Nations, NASA, and maybe some other groups that are out there that wanted to start the second coming Antichrist.
Everything always goes back to let's create a new world order, a second coming of what? Really?
You're hearing a lot about it today, and this is what's very interesting is because in 1994, Serge really talked about this. I've never dove deep into the guy himself. I just heard rumors about him. Like, he wasn't a nice guy.
He got arrested in 1996. His arrest report was like because he was homeschooling his kids. Like, he's got his daughter taken away, and then he died of a heart attack. But you don't know if that's actually true or not.
No, you don't know, and you never know with some of these cases what's true and what's not, and like what made this guy all of a sudden say, like, I'm going to publish a piece of work called Project Bluebeam. He went down that rabbit hole, and they kind of just tried to
And this kind of lines up with Stephen Greer, what he talked about too, because he was like, I had some close associates die in the late 90s for publishing and like disclosing stuff that I told him would like jeopardize their lives.
Well, that's the thing. He was arrested in 96, and it was a little while after that he died of a heart attack. And a lot of people speculate while in police custody, they did something to him. And we talked about on our Weekday Weird a long time ago about the death gun, where they could shoot these ice pellets into you, and it looks like you died of a heart attack. They could have just gave him a shot while he's in police custody, and like him trying to resist. We don't know what happened. This guy, there's a lot of things associated with this guy, so we're just putting that aside. Like,
put that aside.
Yeah, if you want to dive into Serge and know more about him, I would look him up. Maybe some people will be like, this guy is totally correct.
He reminds me of Smirnoff from the Stranger Things.
But getting back to Project Bluebeam, this is where I don't believe it, where it's like the Antichrist is coming. They're going to put somebody, like prop somebody up. Like, it's always one person or one entity.
Never one person. It's a collective power issue. I think people that have power want to remain in power, so they'll do anything.
Yeah, and it was one of these things where people were talking about a new world order, a new government, globalization. You've been hearing about this for a long time.
I mean, look at the United Nations. That's like a global new world order to create like a centralized government.
Yeah, he talks about in Project Bluebeam, which they have this system to kind of mind control people, get people to think like a faked alien invasion. You're going to see holograms, and it's going to look like...
Again, what Stephen Greer talked about in one of his podcasts that we talked about.
See, and that's why I don't understand why you don't like it, because you like Stephen Greer, and you like the way he puts out information, and you believe a lot of the things he said.
I do, but...
And this guy was saying this in the 90s, that they're going to have holograms that come down that look like an alien invasion. Every country is going to see something in their own language.
Sure.
Whether it's going to be connected through the phone, through the internet somehow, or it's going to be in everybody's language, and they're going to believe that this is either alien invasion. Maybe they changed it. Maybe it's not going to be like the Antichrist, or
maybe
they're not going to change everybody's religion. But now, like, since they've been pushing these alien bodies, these testimonies in Congress, this alien thing, maybe that's really what Project Bluebeam is. The only thing that I don't get is if they've been setting this up for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, why hasn't it come out yet?
Yeah, why so long? And like most of the people that...
The best time to do it was in 2020, if you were going to do something like that, because that was a whole reset you could have had.
Yeah, but maybe they are doing it. Maybe it is taking a little bit longer than they expect. There are certain people that will never go along with the government, always go against the government. There's going to be people that believe anything the government tells you, and then you're going to have these people in the middle kind of like, I don't know what's going on. But the only thing that doesn't make sense to me in Project Bluebeam or, any of these government takeovers, we have a life that's very short. I'm old. Say I'm in Congress and we started in her 40s, we live till like we're 80, and we don't see the end goal. And it's like, all right, well, the next person's going to carry it on, and then they're finally going to take it over.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but that's how power works. Everyone, like, it's a tit for tat system. we'll do this and we'll keep power as long as I can. You'll keep power as long as you can. It just keeps going down the line. The people in politics, father, son, how many family members.
I get it, just because there's so many people that are making tons of money over this, you know, and there was different stages of Project Bluebeam in this. Like one of the first stages of Project Bluebeam involved manufacturing artificial created earthquakes.
Again, like I remember I was telling you this, one of the podcasts I listened to, they do have a machine supposedly in Antarctica that can create earthquakes.
Yeah, and a lot of people believe in the conspiracy of what's going on in Hawaii with the fires. Like, is
That's
that
a
part
whole
of
nother topic?
Yeah,
too.
so is that part of it? Is that part of like Project Bluebeam? If this thing is truly real,
I mean,
instead of earthquakes, now they're just going to shoot lasers down from satellites and burn places.
I mean, just take Maui's fires, right? If you looked at any of the footage that I sent you, because I sent you a lot.
Yeah, you really did. You dove into that. I don't know much about it.
Some of the aluminum was melted. Okay, like the melting point of aluminum is so much hotter than what a fire is, and then right next to it, siding of a house isn't touched.
Again,
That
like,
doesn't make any sense.
but this is the reason why I'm saying, like, I don't understand why you aren't like, oh my God, Project Bluebeam, this is it, man, this is it. Because
I don't think it is it. Because I think
there's more to it.
Like these projects, right? I don't think ever go anywhere because there's too many people involved, too many variables that have to happen.
Well, this is why I don't understand it or get it either. It's because, like, all right, if this has been going on for a long time, like,
they can't get their shit together.
Yeah, I can't understand it, but I think the government does. I think there's certain people, like, not the government officials, but there's secret government people that have these programs that can carry out this stuff.
Well, yeah, like we talked about, like the UFO, right? Or the UAP, like how we have their technology.
They can keep it hush hush.
No, yeah, Stephen Greer talked about it, that it's not the government. It's like this quasi-government that has all the power and that keeps it for themselves. I don't see any one government or any of these governments coming together, because if you go back and look at the beginning of mankind, we always fight each other. We're never going to friggin' come together like that to create a project like this. I think that's bullshit. I think, is there an entity or agency or conglomerate of people that want to do this? 100%.
Yeah, and this is another thing too, like the second step puts forth is that gigantic space show, which is going to be holograms, 3-dimensional, and it's going to look like War of the Worlds. Yeah, like as he said, there's going to be projections of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and that will emerge as like one. This is the thing too. I think a lot of religions are going away, but
They're
a lot
like,
of
not as strong as they used to be.
Right. And so this is one of the things where it's like, maybe it's not going to be religious. Maybe it's going to be alien UFO type thing.
Sure.
Because that could be like a cult religion in itself.
I think that would freak a lot of people out. And then I also think, it's not one country. We'll all have to come together to fight this entity. Maybe they're hoping for that, and then like we unite, but then I think we would just go back, just like World War I, World War II, like we went back to our separate countries and lives.
But did we really?
I think we did, yes.
I think there's been a secret government instilled into that, because I think a lot of things changed after World War II, but that's, again, a whole nother topic. I don't know, maybe there's a lot more to this than we really know, but the third step is mind control, where he said there's going to be some type of communication devices, send waves to each other, each person within their own minds.
Yeah, but then like
is that like the aliens, where they say
telepathy and all that kind of crap?
They don't speak to you, and most people that have this, maybe these been tests all along.
I mean, maybe like Independence Day was real. When he got that, the tentacles wrapped around him, he saw everything that they were going to do.
Yeah, and that's maybe the thing. Maybe the government, we're not truly seeing aliens or any craft. It's truly these secret governments that are putting these little tidbits out.
Like, my thing is, what's the end game?
Control.
Yeah, but
control, money,
I
power.
think after 2020.
Yeah, but it's all about control and power and money.
I understand it's control, power, and money. I think just after 2020, people are more skeptical than ever to believe anything the government tells you whatsoever.
I always break it up into thirds, because you could see that in any kind of history and wars,
I get that.
Anything. There's going to be people, think about the Revolutionary War. There's going to be a third of people that are going to be like the patriots. Third of people are going to be loyalists. And then the third of people are going to be, all right, I'm caught in the middle. I'm doing business with both sides. I just want to, status Status quo, leave it as is. You know, really the final step of Project Bluebeam, take these technologies and really convince people that alien invasion and the rapture is taking place. So I don't know, will we see that in our lifetime?
I don't think so.
I mean, a lot of things, I feel like everything is connected.
It is, I think so. And nothing's at random. I don't think everything's calculated probably from these people. However, I don't see them pulling off this, and the end game, I don't think would be their outcome that they probably wanted to.
I don't think so either, but at the end of the day, I think they will gain power and they will gain money from all this stuff. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is one big distraction from something else. Looking at it, I would have to say, I kind of believe Project Bluebeam. I'm going to give it a thumbs up just because there is slivers of truth to it.
Slivers.
I mean, do I care about the guy Surge and all this other stuff? I don't really care, but I think a lot of what he says does have validity to some of the things that have been going on today.
Yeah, I would have to just give it a thumbs down. Like, I don't see the end game.
Unless it was Stephen Greer sitting here telling you.
I just don't see the end game for these people of why they want to create holograms and everything like that just to gain power. You're already in power. You already have money. You can make money other ways. You don't need to brainwash people to believe that there's alien invasion, because I think they'll get people freaked out more than anything, and it wouldn't serve you what you wanted to. I don't think.
I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe there's other avenues that they're going down. They want a new world government that's going to be in place. We're not going to be using cash anymore. People believe that's another freaking conspiracy. That people believe.
That's another thing.
I really don't know. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. Do you believe in this? Is there a bigger conspiracy? But make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Hit the bell for notification. Follow along to all the weirdness. Get some shirts at shopnightmare365.com. Anyway, until next time,
stay spooky. I love Project Bluebeam, because the Bluebeam is blue, and I love blue. I love Blue Book.